If you're looking to rev up your content creation for the new year, I want to go over some hot tips that I have utilized and might help you. So, the first thing is to clearly define your audience. You know, think about and stay focused on who that audience is, what are their needs, what are they concerned about? What are even their fears? Think about who they are and paint a picture for them, and that will better help you decide what kind of content to create. A really smart idea is to focus on a content calendar. Now, you don't have to make this so intense if you don't want to think about, laying out the next 12 months. I don't really function well like that. I don't really like going that far out. But a suggestion is to do a quarterly content calendar. So start thinking about right now what your Q1 is. What are you doing in January, February, and March? And don't go any further than that. And it doesn't even have to be that complex. You could even assign a topic, right? So make January your topic about buyers, make February your topic on sellers, and make March your topic on VA loans. It could be that broad and then dissected down on how you are going to distribute that content out each month. That aligns with setting realistic goals. The worst thing you can do is overcomplicate something, which means when you make it complicated, you're most likely never to get it done because it's so many layers, right? A good example is if you know you have to lose weight and you make it really complicated in your mind about you got to go to the gym and it's so far away and you have to drive and you have to fight traffic. When you overcomplicate something, you're not going to probably do it. So set a goal that is realistic and things you actually can accomplish. A secondary idea to that is if you want to batch content, it's a really smart way to get a lot done. So, an example is let's say you want to do videos or podcasts and you want to put them out weekly, go ahead and record four at a time. So, you're now a month in advance. If you want to get even crazier, record eight at a time. So, you're 2 months in advance. This allows you to not have content creation taking over your life. And that's a really important asterisk what I want to put onto this. It should not take over your life. Content creation should not be something that you are doing Monday through Friday, 3 weeks out of the month. As a real estate agent or professional in this industry, you need to be lead generating the majority of the time, and the content creation needs to come secondary. And most likely, you're going to be doing it most all by yourself, and you just have to be okay with that. And that kind of goes into my next point is being okay to start where you are. I'm really bad about this, so I'm giving you advice that I need to take myself is that you have to just start where you are and know that it can get better as time goes on as you're doing more production, as you're making more money, you can add on additional editors and people to help you. But you have to just start where you are and be okay with that. And don't allow that to hinder you. Don't say, well, I don't have an editing team and a team to film me, so I can't do anything. Well, that's not true. You have an iPhone, you have an Android. The technology is pretty advanced now. You can get a microphone from Amazon and you can go out and record. There's also a lot of editing software out there that can help you get stuff done quickly. It doesn't have to be perfect. And also, think about starting with short form. If you can't commit to doing long form 10-minute videos, then just do a short form video on Instagram or Facebook and make it as simple as that. Getting out that content, you're going to be so much happier. Even if it's not perfect, you know you can improve as time goes on. And that goes into the next point is where constantly look at what you're doing, see how people are responding to it, and then decide from there how you're going to get better. If you put out content that no one's responding to, just say, hey, you know what? That's okay. No one liked that. I'm going to go on to focus on the topics that I know has got a lot of more attention. There's an idea of something called repurposing content. So, a good example of that is, taking the content and you can take, let's say, a long form piece of content and taking clips of short form out and repurposing that. I know there's an AI called Opus AI that can take out a long form piece of content and shorten clips through AI. It kind of chooses it for you and it'll make the pieces for you automatically. The last time I used it, it was free. I don't know if it's free anymore, but it will do up to a certain amount of time, which is pretty cool. Also, don't worry and evolve over time. Evolving means that you're going to start with one form of content, and it's okay if a year down the road, it might be a completely different version of it. The point is that you have to start because you have to be able to assess what you're doing and keep going through it. And also don't be afraid if you have to take moments of time to stop, look, I see all the time people saying, I posted every single day, 10 times a day. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's fine. If I was 20 years old and didn't have a child and didn't have responsibilities, sure, I could keep up with that. But our lives are difficult. We're parents. We have multiple jobs. We maybe don't have as much money. Like there's obvious things that get in our way. So don't beat yourself up. It's just remembering to try to be consistent. So consistency is something that you can go slowly at. Con- Commit to doing 2 times a week for the next 6 months and don't freak yourself out. And doing that allows you to just continue to provide lots of value expertise to your audience, which is ultimately the goal of content creation. So, good luck on your journey.